Talk to me about budgeting up. Yeah, bottom up budgeting. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't have an MBA either. I went to the School of Hard Knocks, right? But I've been fortunate enough that I've essentially been running businesses since I was out of college, and I've made a lot of mistakes along the way. The fact is, there are many different ways in which people can budget and build a budget for their business, right? They can do zero-based budgeting, right? For example, AB InBev is famous for that, and 3G Capital implies that everywhere, which is essentially like start at zero and build from there, right? And only focus on what's absolutely needed. A bottom-up budgeting strategy is, instead of saying like, hey, this is our revenue number and we're going to push that all the way down the organization, or this is what leadership thinks that you're going to spend, accomplish this. We actually take sort of the opposite approach, where we build budgets line item by line item with our division leaders, right? With GMs of our stores, with our director of retail, with our director of extraction, director of cultivation. And we start to look at like, okay, what are your goals for output, right? What are your goals for revenue, or for a number of widgets you want to produce, right? How much flour do you want to sell? How much cartridges do you want to sell, and so forth. So we start to work with them on what is the baseline that you are planning on, and what do you think you can grow the business? How can you optimize based on our core values, right? Which we have 11 core values based on cost and waste of the enemy, or continuous improvement, right? Customer first. And the company objectives, what we want to achieve. How are you approaching that yourself? And so we start with, they build it from their bottom and it goes up, right? And as a result, it's a negotiation, I would say, in some ways, or not even negotiation is probably the wrong word. It's a collaboration between what our objectives are, what we want to accomplish as a business, how the leaders really interpret that for their own vertical, and then we build it together at the end of the day. And more often than not, man, we meet in the middle. And when we really started doing that in earnest and doing it better than we ever did before, man, the accuracy of our budgets is blowing my mind.